The Morning Star Baptist Church was filled with several hundred mourners who had gathered to pay their last respects to Robert Odom. Suddenly, without warning, violence broke out inside the church.
13 to 14 kids walked in with black hoods on, sat down in the church, identified one person whom they wanted to have a confrontation with. They pounced on him. He got away from them. He ran around the church. As he was going out of the back of the church, they caught up to him, and I believe that he was stabbed about 9 times on various parts of the body.
The stabbing victim, 21-year-old Jerome Brunson, was taken to Boston City Hospital. His attackers escaped. 2 women were hospitalized with minor injuries. 4 others were treated at the scene. Police pursued a youth armed with a gun after he fired the weapon outside the church. That suspect escaped on foot, but officers recovered the weapon, a .38 caliber handgun. The funeral disrupted, some of the mourners returned to the Odom family home, still in shock.
He wasn't into no gangs or nothing like that. Just that wrong people met at the wrong place. And that took place there.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is incredible, man.
I think it's despicable myself. I think it's an awful thing to do. I think the church is the one place that should be off limits and sacred to any type of violence.
In the immediate aftermath of the Morning Star incident, about half a dozen clergy issued the call for the 10-Point Coalition, what subsequently became the Boston 10-Point Coalition. It comes to a head with Morning Star because the established black church's refusal to engage this growing crisis of violence forced the issue.
I'm done.
Stephen is my grandson. He's the son of my oldest daughter. I've had him since he was 8 days old. My daughter had some problems with drugs, and therefore I opted to keep Stephen. I thought one day that she would be coming back for him. She never did. I went by the L.J. Baker House, met some of the staff, and heard what they were about and knew that this was a place where Stephen should be.
And the L.J. Baker House is a sanctuary space to which children can come to find safety, security, and a set of programmatic alternatives to the violence which too frequently scars the emotional and spiritual life of the children of this community.
And this is the Baker House. This is where we go and hang out at. Mostly, it's where I work at.
The L.J. Baker House has helped my baby tremendously. I can just go on and on. They have helped this young man that had no self-esteem have self-esteem. They've helped him to have confidence in himself and what he can do.
It is easy making friends, and you get to learn more things. You get to get more attention on your schoolwork than ever before.
I think he feels safe at the L.J. Baker House because he knows what they're all about. There's no one there that's, that they're walking the walk, they're talking the talk, and they're walking the walk. And that's the bottom line.
It's like, this is like heaven.
Why is it like heaven?
Because, this is like what it says. This is like when all, you're coming in. It is when all bad stuff just ends. It's put a stop to it.
So you're safe here?
Yeah, I feel more safe here than outside.
Children's greatest spiritual need, and this is universally the case, is love.
I owe them my life.
Do you? Why do you owe them your life?
Because if I had never seen this place, I would have been killed right by now.
Children are looking for love and to be loved.
See, this whole building's like a body, and Reverend's like the heart of this whole thing. And this is the Reverend's house. This is where I go when my parents ain't home, and I lost my keys and stuff. This is where I go to chill. It's right here.
They are looking for responsible adults to be moral presences in their lives. And so what the church can do is make the decision that it will side with the needs and interests of the poor and be incarnational.
Like, don't be lazy about the Lord, because he's not somebody to be lazy about, because he helps us. And he tells us, like, things out of the Bible.
They will transform the rhetoric and the theology and the discourse of God into God made flesh, living among the children.
He's powerful.
How so?
Because he's over the, he's good. He does good things. He blesses me, you know. He blesses everybody, bad people, good people, people in gangs, people that worship the devil, you know.
Why do you think he does that? Why do you think he blesses everyone?
Because we're his children.
So that the children beheld God full of grace and truth. Children are looking for love. Love gives meaning so that faith and hope have a basis in reality for being attainable. We love the children. I had a 12-year-old boy threaten to shoot me 2 days ago, in large measure because his mother has problems. Love says, son, I'm going to draw a line. The tough talk is the tough talk of a punk. Right? And because I'm an adult and you're a child, I understand that, but I'm now going to draw some lines. You've crossed the line. Because the very fact that you said that puts you in a difficult place. All right? And I'm going to love you through this. Now, I'm going to have a conversation with a social worker, a clinical psychologist, and a police officer. And I'm going to send you a message that when you want to sling that kind of rhetoric around, we're going to make sure that your butt pays for the check you wrote with your mouth. And we're going to love the child, but we do not mess around. All right? Because we love the child. Because the child is about to talk himself into an early grave.
One day I was sitting in a meeting with the gang unit, and you know, which is, they never have allowed before a street worker to sit there, but because of the minister's clout, they allowed me to sit there because we're on the other side. Suddenly I see Daniel's name is becoming the top 5 people to be picked up that same week. And I was like, you know, no, this is wrong, you know. And I'm overruled at that meeting. They're deciding to go and pick him up. They saw that he's one of the main players in this neighborhood. Now, my policy, if I'm already at that meeting, I'm not going to say about anyone, yes, he is, but I'm definitely going to say, you know, no, don't touch this guy. You know, someone that I know for sure that I can actually go and put my whole credibility on him, I will do that. And that's what I did with Daniel. So they didn't agree to that. He's been working with me. He's been doing incredible stuff. In the summer, we hired 77 young people. We're involved in different levels. And Daniel emerged as one of the leaders. We gave him a chance, and he just ran with it. That's the beauty, you know. He worked overtime on the gardening, on other things, really put a positive attitude into a lot of the young people who were hopeless. And I was like, I'm going to fight for that young man not to be on the top priority of the arrest list for the police. And we managed to overrule that.
One night, police just came to my house and locked me up just because something, you know what I'm saying, saying I had a warrant when I didn't. And all of a sudden, when I left, when they picked me up, I went there, next thing you know, I didn't know till the next day that my house had burned.
I ain't gonna say I never been into it, because I've been into it, the drug dealing and everything else. But now I got a son, I gotta look out for my son, and I can't, you know, be selling drugs and getting shot at and everything else. And I'm young too. I'm only 17. I can't be, running the streets all times of night and everything else. So I just, try to keep a positive attitude.
This area is one of the heaviest patrolled areas in the United States in terms of law enforcement. 7 years ago, it looked like Beirut on 9/11. People don't give resources, don't give jobs to young people unless they're forced to. You need someone to force big systems. We need advocates who are big, political, who can play the big roles of fighting. I cannot do that. I don't have the clout. You need people as powerful as the ministers. You need the moral clout of a church, of a group of churches. It's very hard for politicians to mess with churches.
Fighting violence is everybody's responsibility. And there is no group that has the power of the clergy in that battle. We've seen that firsthand in Boston, and to have them as partners in combating violence it's a tremendous impact.
If you go into court thinking you're going to get a break and being affiliated with a gang, you're sadly mistaken. Gang warfare out in the streets, shooting each other up is gone, man. You got too many people that's interested in you. You got, like I said, we got clergy, we got probation, Boston police, state police, school police, housing, ATF, FBI. We got everybody here in Boston and just targeting gang members. So you need to think about that, man, before you make the wrong mistake.
The police very emphatically say we want the violence to stop. The clergy and the police both send that message, but at the same time we say, look, what type of resources can we bring to bear? Can we get jobs for these kids? Can we get them in programs? And I think that's where this unique partnership has really flourished. It's a recognition by both sides that, the police recognizing that the lock 'em up philosophy is not the solution.
Yeah, so up to now, 404 names looking for jobs, and Pastor Woodbury's compiled some of the information they need additionally, the addresses, and we'll bring it in tomorrow. We'll have more kids looking for jobs, and we'll bring them in as they come in.
We got a question back here, yes.
I think this is wonderful, just wonderful, and very needed. But my question is, the summer job is a good thing. I was a youth worker for the city of Boston for 3 years, and this was one of the things that I've been trying to work on and hope that you all can address this a little. A summer job is a wonderful thing, but it doesn't teach long-term commitment. I would much rather see a kid in a part-time job over a long period of time than in a 2-month job, because I think it teaches continuity and stability. And statistics show that when kids get their first job, they lose it after a few months. And I don't know if that's tied to the fact that they only work in the summers, but I think it's better for planning, budgeting, and teaching them long-term commitment.
I want to thank everybody for coming and being a part of the meeting. I'm going to ask Father Best if he will close us out in a word of prayer.
Lord, we ask you to send forth your Spirit upon us, that will continue to recreate us in mind and heart and soul, renew our energies as we work to bring your grace and your peace to your people and to your children. We ask you to inspire others to come forward and to join us in our efforts.
My interest and support in the 10-Point Coalition emerged with a conviction that it was necessary for clergy to come together in a new configuration to deal with violence in our streets and, more broadly, to deal with violence in our society.
Being young and being black in Boston, it's already hard, right?
And I ain't saying that you got to agree with your moms. I mean, look, we were all 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? We were there. I mean, we understand.
We thought we owned the world.
We thought we could live forever.
Good.
And I mean, I understand. I mean, there's, you know, you're growing, man. You're getting older. You're starting to understand. You're starting to be more aware of what the world is all about and whatnot. You know, you're looking at your moms and you realizing, well, you know, I got my own 2 feet I need to stand on. But brother, you need to do it respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Look at me, brother. Seen too much. They put the toe tags on. We put them under the ground. Just don't want that to happen to you.
You know, when I first started hearing people getting killed in Cambridge, you know, thinking like Cambridge, nobody can get killed out there, but it happens.
My name is Eddie Harris. I'm the director of Positive Edge in the city of Cambridge. It's a streetworker program designed to build relationships with young people in the city and help provide them with the services that they may need, that they may not be aware of.
This is quote-unquote home for us, you know what I'm saying? Right. Home. This is like after work, you go home. After the camera goes off, he's going home.
You don't want to work 10 hours a day, come home, you might have family problems in your house, so you come out, so then you have to get harassed again by the police. You know, you don't want that on top of the day.
That's the point that I raised earlier, was that this is where they bond, this is where they congregate, because this is where they can get some peace.
Yeah, what was the quote? You have a negative look at the police. You know, they should be working to turn that around, you know, have a positive effect. But, you know, it's like it's getting worse, so they're going to just treat us with disrespect. Who wants to treat someone with respect if they treating you with disrespect? You know?
Yeah. I just came back from work. I'm tired. I come outside.
Just to
chill. Come to relax, talk to some of my friends. I was with him at 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I have a cop coming up to me telling me, move. You can't sit out here and talk to him.
And we had said it to him. If we doing all these bad things out here, then why when they come through, all they could yell at us about is move out the way. Exactly. They would treat you all with respect, but they don't show us that respect. They come through like, get out of my way. But if they came right now, I'm sure they'd be like, how you doing? Excuse me? Like that. You know?
Well, that's a good point. And like I said, I'm going to look into it now. I'm going to check on it.
He said that tell our friends they're going to be out here with all their friends this summer and they're going to really crack down on us and stuff like that. Right. I mean, you know, that's unnecessary.
Violence has no discrepancies. It has no distinctions. It happens to everybody, every walk of life, every culture. You know, it's amazing that folks always say or try to attribute it to either African Americans or Latinos or what have you. But here, it's across the board. It's everybody and anybody. So we say, don't believe the hype. Don't believe it. The churches are involved, and that's an important aspect of what we're doing. People say the church is not doing enough, and what more can they do? Reverend Jeffrey Brown, his emphasis is beyond the 4 walls of the church. The church is the community. That's where the real work is done, not on a Sunday morning by listening to his sermon, but to actually take it in hand and go ahead out and do something. What do you do the other 6 days of the week?
I've found that I've had some of my most profound theological discussions, not in the halls of some of the seminaries in this area, but in the street corners, in a park at midnight on a Friday night. Give you an example. There was one time years ago when we were over in Ripley Park, which is around the corner here, and we were trying to get this group of kids, gang, to stop dealing drugs in the park. There was a kid who was one of the hearts of the gang, and the heart was someone who actually would pack a weapon and shoot and kill. He was guarding the door. The times that we went in there, he never spoke to us. But what happened was that one day when we were in there, he came and grabbed one of the ministers there. And then after a few minutes, they came back and we left. We asked the minister what this kid said, and it was unbelievable. He said, "You don't know me. You don't know what I've done, but I've done some pretty bad things." He said, "But of all the things that I've done, I've seemed to have lost my conscience. I'm wondering if you guys can help me get my conscience back again." Imagine yourself 15 years old, you're walking on the street with your boy, shots ring out, it's a drive-by, your boy gets hit, he goes down, the life drains out of his body. You got questions. Where is he going? What is he doing? What are we doing? How are we going to get out of this? Those are questions that we can address.
When I read in the paper about the 10-Point Coalition, I became fascinated by this and called the leaders. in the final analysis, this is a rather simple effort. We need to take hope for what has occurred in South Africa. We need to take hope in what is beginning to take place in Ireland. And we have reason to take hope in the 10-Point Coalition and in other similar efforts. It doesn't have heavy infrastructure. It mainly has men and women of goodwill and tremendous generosity of spirit, willing to meet young people at risk and help them move into the future with greater hope. It's as simple as that. And I don't think we should hold back because we don't think we're organized well enough, or we don't think we have enough persons, or we don't think we have enough money. We just need to do it with confidence.